Hi, this is Jan Price, and I'm at the Illuminate Film Festival, and I'm interviewing Sarah Drew, who has written about the Gaia Codex. Welcome to the Illuminate Film Festival, Sarah. Can you tell us a little bit about what the Gaia Codex is all about and the other work that you're doing with the Gaia Codex?
Great to be here, Jan. First of all, it's so amazing to be here at the Illuminate Film Festival. So the Gaia Codex is a novel, and it started as a novel, and it's about an ancient lineage of women that hold regeneration codes for the planet. And when there's times of crisis or environmental stress, these women come together and birth the world anew. As its time out in a novel, it's been lauded by New York Times bestsellers and has a really passionate groundswell of grassroots fans all over the world. And now we're transformed. We were here speaking at Illuminate, talking about our process of turning it into a scripted television series and also a media platform.
Wonderful! Wow,
which we've had a lot of momentum with, and
yeah, that's great, and we need it now more than ever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one of the Dalai Lama spoke, I think, the first night,
yes,
in his film about the feminine energy and how we need it more now than ever. So the work that you're doing right now is bringing that forth and birthing it. What's your experience been here at the Illuminate Film Festival?
Yeah, I think like I was saying, at the beginning, it's really, I think it's a very, I think there's a time when a movement is ready, and we certainly feel that for our project. That it's not only the feminine rising, but we're at a time when these new stories really can start to move through. And there's been many of us, I think, from many different mediums that have been working to cultivate these stories of what is it like to live on a regenerative, healthy earth. So we're doing it through fantasy fiction, but it's not so fantasy fiction, right? And it's been really wonderful at the festival to see the different on ramps to get these stories out. And I think Illuminate is really incredible in that sense for that.
It sounds like these archetypes, these feminine archetypes, are superheroes. And now superheroes, as we know, that's what's dominating the box office and has been for quite a long time. And it's, even though we've had Wonder Woman, and I think right now Thunderbolts has a female protagonist in it, but even more now than ever, a protagonist of the type of that you're talking about, the archetypes you're talking about. Do you have a vision of translating into that type of film?
I mean, we have, I would say, a little bit more of a nuanced touch than just like a marveled movie.
Right.
As we're saying, there's season one, there's 5 different archetypes of the goddess and 5 different epochs. So ancient Egypt, ancient Mayan, Daoist, and then we go to the future, 10,000 years in the future. It's a through line right there. We're really looking at the goddess, if you will, in her complexity. If you look at some of these ancient traditions, like the Sri Lalita Sasharana, where there's 1,000 different forms of the goddess, right? And we can even, or the Mahavidyas, again, in the Hindu tantric tradition, where there's 10 different forms, or the 21 Taras, or you look into the ancient things of Isis. I think we've been living at a more popular cultural level with a more contracted idea of what the goddess may be as our archetypal ideals. And so we're really going into the nuanced complexity of reality and consciousness, but as seen through these beautiful, and yes, they are superheroes.
Yes, they are.
They're each going through these really powerful alchemical journeys to do that. And we're bringing conscious production, like our motto and our guide with my partner Belina Malka, who we're doing this together, is media is medicine.
Yes.
And so we're really looking at stories that and keeping to the script. There's transformation, there's loss, there's the things that are part of the human journey, but in the end we're bringing it about so that it's healing, and it's also bringing forth information that I think we really need this time as we go into these different cultures. The media platform bridges out where we have, so if we're in ancient Maya, then we're also working with ancient Mayan elders to help bring on a very light touch, because it is for a mass audience, some of these traditional ways of viewing the world, which are they've been here for thousands of years. And it's so important for all of us to remember our indigenous wisdom, which is part of who we are.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Sarah. I really appreciate all you're doing to bring this message
Yeah.
out there. And I wish you much success with it.
Great.
Thank you.